welcome to the Mindful Zone. I'm so glad you're here today. This is a space where we explore ways to live more peacefully, mindfully, and joyfully in the midst of our busy modern lives. Whether you've stumbled upon this channel by chance, or you're someone who regularly seeks out tools for personal growth, you are welcome here. Today we're diving deep into Buddhist philosophy, not as an abstract concept, but as a practical guide to transforming stress, overcoming social media addiction, and finding balance in your daily life. Buddhism has been around for over 2,500 years, yet its teachings feel remarkably relevant today. Why? Because at its core, Buddhism addresses universal human experiences, suffering, impermanence, and the search for meaning. It doesn't promise that life will be free of challenges, but it does offer tools to navigate those challenges with grace and resilience. And isn't that what we all want? To feel less overwhelmed, more grounded, and genuinely connected to ourselves and others. Now, before we dive in, let me assure you, you don't need to be a Buddhist to benefit from these teachings. You don't even need to believe in anything specific. What we'll discuss today is rooted in timeless wisdom that transcends religion or culture. These are principles anyone can apply, regardless of their background or beliefs. So who is this video for? Well, if you've ever felt stressed, anxious, or just plain exhausted by the demands of modern life, this is for you. If you've found yourself scrolling endlessly through social media, wondering why it leaves you feeling empty instead of fulfilled, this is for you. If you're curious about meditation and mindfulness but aren't sure where to start, or if you're already practicing and want to deepen your understanding, this is also for you. Over the next 2 hours, we'll explore 10 key areas where Buddhist philosophy can make a tangible difference in your life. We'll talk about how to manage stress, how to break free from unhealthy habits like social media addiction, how to cultivate compassion and gratitude, and so much more. Each chapter will build on the last, offering both insights and actionable steps you can take right away. But first, let's set the tone for this journey. Take a moment to settle into whatever space you're in. Maybe you're sitting comfortably on your couch, lying down in bed, or perhaps you're outside surrounded by nature. Wherever you are, allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. Let go of any expectations about what you should get out of this video. There's no pressure here. Just an invitation to listen, reflect, and maybe discover something new about yourself. As we move forward, I encourage you to approach this not as passive entertainment, but as an active practice. Pause the video whenever you need to. Reflect on what resonates with you. Jot down notes if you'd like. And most importantly, be gentle with yourself. Transformation isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Small shifts in perspective can lead to profound changes over time. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge that this journey isn't always easy. Facing our patterns, habits, and emotions takes courage. But remember, discomfort is often the gateway to growth. And you're not alone. I'm here with you every step of the way. Together we'll uncover the beauty and power of mindfulness, meditation, and Buddhist philosophy as tools for living well in the modern world. Are you ready? Let's begin. Chapter 1. Understanding Stress Through a Buddhist Lens. Stress is an unavoidable part of modern life. It creeps into our days in countless ways: work deadlines, financial pressures, relationship challenges, and even the constant buzz of notifications from our phones. We often think of stress as something external, as if it's caused solely by the events happening around us. But in Buddhism, stress, or dukkha, is understood not just as an external condition, but as a deeply personal and internal experience. To truly address stress, we must first understand its roots within ourselves. The Buddha taught that suffering, or dukkha, arises when we cling to things that are impermanent. This clinging isn't limited to material possessions. It extends to our ideas, identities, relationships, and even our expectations about how life should unfold. Think about it. How often do you find yourself stressed because reality doesn't match your vision of how things should be. Maybe you're upset because traffic made you late for an important meeting, or because someone said something hurtful without realizing it. These moments highlight the gap between our expectations and reality, a gap that Buddhism identifies as a primary source of suffering. One of the most profound insights of Buddhist philosophy is the concept of impermanence, or anicca. Everything in life is transient: our emotions, our circumstances, even our very sense of self. Yet, we tend to resist this truth. We want pleasant experiences to last forever and unpleasant ones to disappear immediately. This resistance creates tension, frustration, and ultimately stress. For example, imagine being stuck in a long line at the grocery store. If you approach the situation with impatience, thinking, "This shouldn't be happening," you'll likely feel irritated and tense. But if you accept the moment as it is, reminding yourself that all lines eventually move, you can soften your reaction and reduce your stress. Another key teaching related to stress is attachment. In Buddhism, attachment refers to our tendency to grasp onto things, whether they're tangible, like money, or status, or intangible, like approval or control. When we attach ourselves to outcomes, people, or specific versions of happiness, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Why? Because nothing in life is permanent. Even the happiest moments fade, and the people we love will inevitably change or leave us. This doesn't mean we should disconnect from life or suppress our desires. Instead, Buddhism encourages us to cultivate a mindset of non-attachment, not indifference, but rather a deep acceptance of life's fluidity. So how do we apply these teachings to manage stress in our daily lives? The first step is awareness. Mindfulness, a cornerstone of Buddhist practice, involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When stress arises, instead of reacting impulsively, take a moment to observe what's happening inside you. Are you feeling tightness in your chest? Is your mind racing with anxious thoughts? Simply noticing these sensations can create a small but powerful shift in your experience. By observing stress rather than identifying with it, you begin to see it as something separate from who you truly are. Another tool for managing stress is reframing your perspective. Buddhism teaches that much of our suffering comes from the stories we tell ourselves about our experiences. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic, you might think, "This is ruining my day." But what if you shifted your narrative? What if you saw the delay as an opportunity to breathe deeply, listen to music, or simply sit quietly? Reframing doesn't change the external situation, but it transforms your internal response, reducing the emotional toll of stress. The practice of letting go is also central to addressing stress. Letting go doesn't mean giving up or ignoring problems. It means releasing the need to control every aspect of your life. Life is inherently unpredictable, and trying to micromanage it only amplifies stress. Instead, focus on what you can influence while surrendering the rest. For example, if you're stressed about a project at work, break it down into manageable steps and tackle them one at a time. Trust that you're doing your best and let go of the outcome. This attitude of effort combined with acceptance can bring a profound sense of peace. Compassion plays a vital role in managing stress as well. Often when we're stressed, we turn inward and become overly critical of ourselves. We might berate ourselves for not being productive enough, patient enough, or resilient enough. But Buddhism reminds us that everyone suffers. It's a shared human experience. When you notice self-criticism creeping in, try offering yourself kindness instead. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend going through a tough time. You might say, "It's okay to feel overwhelmed. I'm doing the best I can." This simple act of self-compassion can ease the weight of stress and help you reconnect with your inner strength. Meditation is another powerful way to work with stress. While meditation won't eliminate stress entirely, it equips you with the tools to navigate it more skillfully. Start by setting aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. As thoughts and feelings arise, and they will, acknowledge them without getting caught up in them. Imagine them as clouds passing across the sky, coming and going without leaving a trace. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to remain calm and centered even in challenging situations. Finally, remember that managing stress is a lifelong journey, not a destination. There will be days when you feel grounded and peaceful, and other days when stress feels overwhelming. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Each time you pause, breathe, and choose a mindful response over a reactive one, you're taking a step toward greater freedom. By embracing impermanence, cultivating non-attachment, practicing mindfulness, and nurturing compassion, you can transform your relationship with stress. These teachings don't promise a life free of challenges, but they offer something far more valuable: the ability to face difficulties with grace, wisdom, and resilience. As you continue exploring these ideas, keep asking yourself, how can I meet this moment with openness and curiosity? How can I let go of what I cannot control and trust in the flow of life? The answers may surprise you. In chapters ahead, we'll delve deeper into how these principles can help you overcome social media addiction, improve your relationships, and live more authentically. But for now, take what you've learned here and begin applying it in your own life. Notice where stress shows up for you and experiment with the tools we've discussed. With patience and practice, you'll discover that even in the midst of chaos, there's always a pathway to peace. Chapter 2: Mindfulness in Everyday Life. Mindfulness is one of the most transformative practices you can bring into your life, and it's rooted deeply in Buddhist philosophy. At its core, mindfulness is about being fully present in each moment, without judgment. It's not something reserved for meditation cushions or yoga mats. It's a way of living that can infuse every aspect of your day with clarity, calm, and connection. The beauty of mindfulness lies in its simplicity, yet its impact can be profound. By cultivating awareness of the here and now, you can shift from feeling overwhelmed by life to experiencing it more fully and joyfully. To understand mindfulness, we first need to recognize how often we're not truly present. Think about your typical day. How many times do you find yourself lost in thought, worrying about the future, replaying past events, or simply zoning out while scrolling through your phone? Most of us spend much of our lives on autopilot, disconnected from the richness of the present moment. This habitual distraction keeps us from engaging deeply with our experiences and robs us of opportunities for peace and fulfillment. Mindfulness invites us to step off this treadmill of mental busyness and return to what's real: the breath moving in and out, the taste of food in our mouths, the sensation of our feet touching the ground as we walk. In Buddhism, mindfulness is often referred to as sati, which means to remember or to recollect. But what are we remembering? We're recalling to come back to the present moment again and again. The Buddha taught that the present moment is the only reality we truly have. The past is gone. The future hasn't arrived yet. All we ever have is now. Yet so often we live as if this weren't true. We rush through tasks, thinking about what's next rather than focusing on what's right in front of us. Mindfulness helps us reclaim the power of the present by bringing our attention back to where it belongs, here and now. One of the simplest ways to practice mindfulness is through awareness of the breath. Your breath is always with you, no matter where you are or what you're doing. It serves as an anchor, a steady point of focus that can ground you when your mind starts to wander. To begin, take a few moments throughout your day to notice your breathing. Feel the cool air entering your nostrils and the warmth of it leaving. Notice the rise and fall of your chest or abdomen. Don't try to change your breath, just observe it. This simple act of paying attention can create a sense of calm and stability, even in the midst of chaos. But mindfulness isn't limited to formal practices like breath awareness. It's meant to permeate everything you do. Consider the activities you perform daily: brushing your teeth, eating breakfast, driving to work, washing dishes. These may seem mundane, but they offer countless opportunities to cultivate presence. For example, when you eat, slow down and savor each bite. Notice the colors, textures, and flavors of your food. Pay attention to how it feels in your mouth and how it nourishes your body. When you wash dishes, feel the warmth of the water on your hands and listen to the sound of plates clinking together. By bringing mindful awareness to these ordinary moments, you transform them into extraordinary experiences. Another powerful aspect of mindfulness is learning to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. In Buddhism, thoughts are likened to clouds passing across the sky. They arise, linger for a while, and then dissolve. The problem isn't having thoughts, it's identifying with them or believing they define who you are. When you're mindful, you can watch your thoughts come and go without attaching to them. This creates a sense of spaciousness in your mind, allowing you to respond to situations with greater wisdom and compassion. For instance, imagine you're stuck in traffic and start feeling frustrated. Instead of immediately reacting to the frustration, pause and notice it. Where do you feel it in your body? Is it tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach? Simply acknowledging the sensation can help diffuse its intensity. Then remind yourself that frustration is just a temporary state. It will pass. You don't have to let it dictate your mood or behavior. This ability to step back and observe your inner experience is one of the greatest gifts of mindfulness. Mindfulness also fosters deeper connections with others. When you're fully present during conversations, you listen more attentively and respond more thoughtfully. Instead of planning your next words while someone else is speaking, give them your undivided attention. Notice their tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language. This kind of mindful communication strengthens relationships and builds trust because people feel seen and heard. Of course, practicing mindfulness doesn't mean you'll never get distracted. Distraction is part of being human. What matters is how you relate to it. When you catch yourself zoning out or getting lost in thought, gently guide your attention back to the present moment. There's no need for self-criticism. Mindfulness is a practice, not a performance. Each time you return to the present, you're strengthening your capacity to stay grounded. Over time, this becomes easier and more natural. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine doesn't require drastic changes. Start small. Choose one activity each day to approach mindfully: a morning cup of tea, a short walk, or even brushing your hair. As you become more comfortable, expand your practice to include other parts of your life. The key is consistency, not duration. Even a few minutes of mindful awareness can make a difference. Mindfulness also helps you develop a healthier relationship with technology, especially social media. So often we use our devices unconsciously, reaching for them out of habit or boredom. Next time you pick up your phone, pause and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I seeking connection, entertainment, or distraction? If the answer feels superficial, consider redirecting your energy towards something more meaningful, reading a book, journaling, or simply sitting quietly. By using technology mindfully, you reclaim control over your attention and reduce the mental clutter that contributes to stress. Another benefit of mindfulness is its ability to enhance gratitude. When you're fully present, you naturally notice the small joys and blessings in your life, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the laughter of a child, the kindness of a stranger. These moments might seem insignificant, but they add up to create a sense of contentment and appreciation. Gratitude, in turn, reinforces mindfulness by encouraging you to stay attuned to the positive aspects of your experience. Finally, mindfulness teaches us to embrace imperfection. Not just in the world around us, but within ourselves. Too often, we hold ourselves to impossibly high standards, striving for perfection in everything we do. But life is messy, unpredictable, and beautifully flawed. By accepting this truth, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Mindfulness allows us to meet ourselves with kindness and curiosity rather than judgment and criticism. As you continue exploring mindfulness, remember that it's not about achieving some ideal state of calm or enlightenment. It's about showing up for your life with openness and awareness. Whether you're facing challenges or celebrating successes, mindfulness gives you the tools to navigate both with grace and resilience. It reminds you that every moment is an opportunity to awaken, to discover the beauty and potential hidden within the ordinary. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore how mindfulness can support you in overcoming specific modern challenges such as social media addiction, emotional overwhelm, and burnout. But for now, take what you've learned here and begin weaving mindfulness into your daily life. Notice where distractions pull you away from the present moment and gently guide yourself back. With patience and practice, you'll find that mindfulness not only reduces stress, but enriches your entire experience of being alive. Chapter 3: Overcoming Social Media Addiction. Social media has become an integral part of modern life, shaping how we connect, communicate, and consume information. On the surface, it promises connection and convenience, a way to stay in touch with loved ones, share our lives, and access endless streams of knowledge and entertainment. But beneath this veneer lies a darker reality. For many of us, social media has become a source of addiction, distraction, and even suffering. The constant pull to check notifications, scroll endlessly, and compare ourselves to others can leave us feeling drained, anxious, and disconnected from what truly matters. In this chapter, we'll explore how Buddhist philosophy offers powerful tools to help us reclaim our attention, break free from the grip of social media addiction, and cultivate a healthier relationship with technology. To understand why social media is so addictive, we need to look at its design. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter are engineered to keep us hooked. They use algorithms that exploit our psychological vulnerabilities, triggering dopamine hits with every like, comment, or share. These rewards create a cycle of craving and consumption, making it hard to step away. But here's the key insight. While these platforms may control the external environment, they don't have to control our minds. Buddhism teaches that true freedom comes from mastering our inner responses, not from trying to change the world around us. By shifting our perspective and developing mindful awareness, we can begin to untangle ourselves from the web of social media addiction. One of the first steps in overcoming social media addiction is recognizing the role of attachment. In Buddhism, attachment refers to our tendency to cling to things, whether tangible like possessions or intangible like approval or validation. Social media thrives on this dynamic. It feeds our desire for likes, followers, and comments, creating a false sense of self-worth tied to external metrics. Have you ever found yourself refreshing your feed over and over, waiting for someone to acknowledge your post? Or scrolling through profiles, comparing your life to the curated highlight reels of others? This behavior stems from attachment to validation, to perfection, to the illusion of control. Breaking free requires us to examine these attachments and ask ourselves, why do I seek approval online? What am I afraid will happen if I don't get it? Mindfulness plays a crucial role in addressing social media addiction. When we're mindful, we bring conscious awareness to our actions rather than acting out of habit or impulse. Before reaching for your phone, pause and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I bored, lonely, avoiding something uncomfortable? Often we turn to social media as a way to escape unpleasant emotions or fill empty moments. Mindfulness allows us to sit with these feelings instead of numbing them with distractions. For example, if you're feeling restless, try taking 3 deep breaths before opening an app. Notice where the urge to scroll arises in your body. Does it feel like tension in your chest, a fluttering in your stomach? Simply observing these sensations without acting on them weakens their power over time. Another important teaching in Buddhism is the concept of non-harm, ahimsa. While social media itself isn't inherently harmful, the way we use it often causes subtle forms of harm to ourselves and others. Scrolling mindlessly for hours can sap our energy, leaving us less present for meaningful interactions in real life. Engaging in online arguments or spreading negativity can harm relationships and contribute to a toxic digital environment. To practice non-harm, consider setting boundaries around your social media use. For instance, designate specific times of day for checking apps and avoid using your phone during meals or conversations with loved ones. You might also reflect on the content you share. Is it truthful, kind, and beneficial? Would you say it face to face? These questions encourage ethical engagement with technology. The practice of letting go is particularly relevant when addressing social media addiction. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning social media altogether. It means releasing the need to be constantly connected or validated by it. Begin by identifying triggers that lead you to overuse social media. Is it boredom, stress, loneliness? Once you've identified these patterns, experiment with alternative activities that fulfill the same needs. If you're bored, pick up a book or take a walk outside. If you're stressed, try journaling or meditating. If you're lonely, reach out to a friend for a heartfelt conversation. Each time you choose a mindful activity over mindless scrolling, you strengthen your capacity for intentional living. Gratitude is another powerful antidote to social media addiction. So often, we use platforms to compare ourselves to others, focusing on what we lack rather than appreciating what we have. This habit perpetuates dissatisfaction and fuels the desire for more followers, more likes, more validation. To counteract this tendency, practice gratitude regularly. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be big or dramatic. Even small joys, like a warm cup of tea or a kind word from a stranger, count. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, reminding you that happiness doesn't come from external sources, but from within. Compassion is also essential in overcoming social media addiction, not just compassion for others, but compassion for yourself. It's easy to fall into self-criticism when you realize how much time you've spent scrolling aimlessly, but beating yourself up only reinforces negative patterns. Instead, approach yourself with kindness and understanding. Acknowledge that breaking free from addiction takes time and effort. Celebrate small victories along the way, whether it's resisting the urge to check your phone during dinner or going a whole evening without opening an app. Self-compassion creates a foundation of resilience, helping you stay committed to your goals. Digital detoxes can be incredibly helpful in resetting your relationship with social media. A digital detox involves taking a break from technology for a set period, whether it's an hour, a day, or weekend. During this time, focus on activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Read a book, go for a hike, cook a meal, or simply sit quietly and observe your thoughts. Detoxes give your brain a chance to rest and recalibrate, reducing dependency on constant stimulation. Afterward, reintroduce social media mindfully, setting clear intentions for how and why you'll use it. Finally, remember that overcoming social media addiction isn't about rejecting technology altogether. It's about using it consciously and purposefully. Technology itself is neutral. It's neither good nor bad. What matters is how we engage with it. Ask yourself, does this platform add value to my life? Does it support my well-being and align with my values? If the answer is yes, continue using it intentionally. If the answer is no, consider scaling back or removing it entirely. As you work to overcome social media addiction, lean on the wisdom of impermanence. Just as all things in life are transient, so too are the habits and patterns that bind us. With patience and persistence, you can rewrite the script of your relationship with technology. Start small, stay consistent, and trust the process. Over time, you'll find that stepping away from the virtual world opens up space for deeper connections, greater presence, and a renewed sense of peace. In the chapters ahead, we'll delve further into how mindfulness and Buddhist principles can help you navigate other aspects of modern life, such as stress, relationships, and emotional well-being. But for now, take what you've learned here and begin applying it to your own life. Notice where social media pulls you away from the present moment and gently guide yourself back. With mindfulness as your ally, you'll discover that freedom from addiction is not only possible but profoundly liberating. Chapter 4. Cultivating Compassion for Yourself and Others. Compassion is one of the most transformative forces we can bring into our lives, yet it's often misunderstood or overlooked in the hustle and bustle of modern existence. In Buddhism, compassion, known as karuna, is not just a feeling, it's an active practice, a way of relating to ourselves and others with kindness, understanding, and care. It's about recognizing the shared human experience of suffering and responding with love rather than judgment. In this chapter, we'll explore how cultivating compassion can heal your heart, strengthen your relationships, and create a ripple effect of positivity that touches everyone around you. To begin, let's clarify what compassion really means. Compassion is different from empathy, though the two are closely related. Empathy involves feeling what another person feels, joy when they're happy, pain when they're suffering. Compassion takes this a step further by motivating us to alleviate that suffering. It's not enough to simply notice someone's pain. True compassion inspires action, whether big or small, to help ease it. But here's the important part. Compassion starts with yourself. If you can't be kind to yourself, it becomes much harder to extend genuine compassion to others. Self-compassion is especially vital in today's world, where many of us are quick to criticize ourselves for perceived failures or shortcomings. We hold ourselves to impossibly high standards, expecting perfection in everything from our careers to our relationships to our appearance. When we inevitably fall short, we respond with harsh self-talk, labeling ourselves as lazy, unworthy, or inadequate. The habit of self-criticism creates a toxic inner environment, fueling stress, anxiety, and even depression. The Buddha taught that all beings deserve compassion, including ourselves. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we lay the foundation for healing and growth. One powerful practice for cultivating self-compassion is loving kindness meditation, or metta. This ancient technique involves silently repeating phrases of goodwill toward yourself and others. To try it, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and begin by directing these wishes inward. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. As you repeat these phrases, allow yourself to feel their meaning. Imagine warmth and light filling your heart, soothing any areas of tension or pain. Once you've spent time offering kindness to yourself, gradually expand your focus outward to loved ones, acquaintances, strangers, and even those who challenge you. For example, you might say, "May you be safe, may you be at peace, may you be free from suffering." Over time, this practice softens the barriers between self and other, fostering a sense of interconnectedness. But why does self-compassion matter so much? Research shows that people who practice self-compassion tend to experience less stress, greater resilience, and improved mental health. They're also more likely to take risks and pursue their goals, knowing they can handle setbacks without falling into shame or despair. Self-compassion doesn't mean excusing harmful behaviors or ignoring areas for improvement. Instead, it means approaching yourself with the same patience and encouragement you'd offer a close friend. Think about it. If someone you cared about made a mistake, would you berate them endlessly, or would you remind them that everyone stumbles sometimes? Extend that same grace to yourself. Compassion for others flows naturally from self-compassion. When you treat yourself with kindness, you become more attuned to the struggles of those around you. You stop seeing people as competitors or obstacles and start recognizing them as fellow travelers on the journey of life. This shift in perspective opens the door to deeper connections and more meaningful interactions. For instance, imagine encountering someone who seems rude or unkind. Instead of reacting defensively, pause and consider what might be going on beneath the surface. Are they carrying heavy burdens, stress, grief, fear, that manifest as irritability? Responding with compassion rather than judgment diffuses tension and fosters understanding. In Buddhist philosophy, compassion is inseparable from wisdom. True compassion isn't blind or naive, it's rooted in a clear-eyed recognition of reality. This means acknowledging both the joys and sorrows of life, the beauty and the brokenness. It means seeing people as they are, flaws and all, while still believing in their potential for goodness. Wisdom reminds us that everyone acts out of their own conditioning, shaped by past experiences, traumas, and beliefs. When someone hurts you, it's rarely personal. It's a reflection of their own pain. Understanding this doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it helps you respond with equanimity rather than reactivity. Another key aspect of compassion is forgiveness, both giving and receiving. Holding on to grudges or resentments only weighs us down, keeping us trapped in cycles of anger and bitterness. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning hurtful actions or forgetting what happened. Rather, it's about releasing the emotional charge attached to those memories, freeing yourself to move forward. Begin by forgiving yourself for past mistakes. Acknowledge them, learn from them, and then let them go. From there, extend forgiveness to others, starting with smaller grievances and working up to bigger wounds. Each act of forgiveness lightens your load, creating space for peace and joy to flourish. Compassion also has a profound impact on our relationships. When we approach others with kindness and empathy, we build trust and deepen bonds. This is especially important in romantic partnerships, friendships, and family dynamics, where misunderstandings and conflicts are inevitable. Practicing compassionate communication, speaking honestly while remaining sensitive to the other person's feelings, can transform arguments into opportunities for growth. Instead of lashing out in frustration, pause and ask yourself, what does this situation need right now? How can I express my truth in a way that honors both of us? These questions guide you towards solutions that benefit everyone involved. On a broader scale, compassion has the power to heal society. Many of the challenges we face today, division, inequality, environmental destruction, are rooted in a lack of connection. When we fail to see the humanity in others, we justify exploitation, discrimination, and neglect. But when we cultivate compassion, we awaken to the interdependence of all life. We realize that harming others ultimately harms ourselves, and uplifting others uplifts us too. This awareness inspires action, not out of obligation, but out of love. Whether it's volunteering, advocating for justice, or simply smiling at a stranger, every compassionate act contributes to a better world. Of course, practicing compassion isn't always easy. There will be times when you feel depleted, frustrated, or overwhelmed. During these moments, remember that compassion is a muscle. It strengthens with use. Start small. Offer a kind word to someone having a tough day. Donate clothes or food to those in need. Write a letter expressing gratitude to someone who's made a difference in your life. These seemingly minor gestures accumulate over time, reinforcing your capacity for kindness. It's also important to recognize that compassion isn't about fixing everything or solving everyone's problems. Sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do is simply be present. Listen without interrupting. Hold space for someone's pain without trying to fix it. Let them know they're not alone. Presence itself is a gift, one that requires no words or grand gestures. Finally, don't underestimate the ripple effects of compassion. Every act of kindness sends waves of positivity into the world, influencing countless lives in ways you may never see. A smile given to a stranger might brighten their day, inspiring them to pay it forward. A listening ear offered to a colleague might help them navigate a difficult decision, leading to positive outcomes for their team. Compassion multiplies exponentially, creating a chain reaction of goodwill that spreads far beyond its initial spark. As you continue exploring compassion, keep returning to the principles of mindfulness and non-attachment. Mindfulness helps you stay present, noticing opportunities to practice kindness in everyday moments. Non-attachment reminds you that compassion isn't transactional. It's not about expecting something in return. Give freely without attachment to outcomes, trusting that your efforts contribute to the greater good. In the chapters ahead, we'll delve into other aspects of mindful living, such as managing anger, embracing impermanence, and finding balance in work and life. But for now, take what you've learned here and begin weaving compassion into your daily routine. Notice where you can soften your judgments, open your heart, and extend kindness to yourself and others. With each step, you'll discover that compassion isn't just a practice, it's a way of being. And in embodying compassion, you not only transform your own life, but also touch the lives of everyone you encounter. Chapter 5: Finding Balance in Work and Life. In today's fast-paced world, finding balance between work and life often feels like an elusive dream. Many of us juggle demanding jobs, family responsibilities, social obligations, and personal aspirations, all while trying to maintain some semblance of well-being. The result? Burnout, exhaustion, and a pervasive sense that we're falling short in every area of our lives. But what if the problem isn't the amount of work or responsibility we have? What if it's how we approach them? In this chapter, we'll explore how Buddhist philosophy offers timeless wisdom for creating harmony between work and life, not by striving for perfection, but by embracing imperfection, setting priorities, and cultivating mindfulness in everything you do. One of the central teachings of Buddhism is the middle way, a path of moderation that avoids extremes. For many people, the struggle to balance work and life stems from swinging between two opposing poles, overworking and underresting. On one hand, there's the relentless pursuit of productivity, achievement, and success, often at the expense of health, relationships, and joy. On the other hand, there's the guilt-ridden avoidance of work altogether, leading to procrastination, missed deadlines, and financial stress. The middle way invites us to find equilibrium, not by doing less or more, but by doing what truly matters with intention and awareness. To begin applying this principle, start by examining your priorities. Ask yourself, what gives my life meaning? What are my core values? These questions aren't always easy to answer, especially in a culture that equates worth with busyness and material success. But taking the time to reflect on what truly matters can help you align your actions with your deepest intentions. For example, if family is a top priority, consider how much quality time you're dedicating to loved ones versus how much time you're spending glued to your phone or working late into the night. If creativity fuels your soul, carve out space in your schedule to paint, write, or engage in whatever brings you alive. By clarifying your priorities, you create a roadmap for making decisions that support balance rather than burnout. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in finding balance because it helps you stay grounded in the present moment. So often, we get caught up in multitasking, answering emails while eating lunch, scrolling through social media during meetings, or thinking about tomorrow's to-do list while spending time with friends. This constant fragmentation of attention leaves us feeling scattered and drained. Mindfulness encourages us to focus on one thing at a time, bringing full presence to each activity. When you eat, savor your food without distractions. When you work, give your task your undivided attention. When you spend time with loved ones, be fully there, not physically present but mentally elsewhere. By practicing single tasking, you not only accomplish more efficiently but also reduce stress and increase satisfaction. Another powerful tool for achieving balance is learning to say no. Saying yes to everything is a recipe for overwhelm, yet many of us struggle to set boundaries due to fear of disappointing others or missing out. Buddhism teaches that saying no is an act of self-care and integrity. It allows you to protect your energy and honor your commitments. Before agreeing to take on additional responsibilities, pause and ask yourself, does this align with my priorities? Will it bring me closer to my goals? Am I willing to sacrifice something else to make room for it? If the answer is no, practice declining graciously but firmly. Remember, saying no to one thing means saying yes to something else, something that truly nourishes your mind, body, and spirit. The concept of non-attachment is also key to finding balance. Non-attachment doesn't mean detaching from life or becoming indifferent to outcomes. It means letting go of rigid expectations and trusting the flow of existence. In the context of work-life balance, this translates to releasing the need for control over every aspect of your day. For instance, instead of obsessing over completing every item on your to-do list, focus on progress rather than perfection. Accept that some days will be more productive than others, and that's okay. Similarly, let go of the idea that happiness depends on achieving certain milestones, whether it's landing a promotion, buying a house, or reaching a specific income level. True contentment comes from within, not from external achievements. Boundaries are essential for maintaining balance, particularly when it comes to technology. In our hyper-connected world, it's all too easy to blur the lines between work and personal life. Emails invade evenings, notifications disrupt family dinners, and the pressure to always be on erodes down time. To counteract this, establish clear tech-free zones and times. For example, designate your bedroom as a screen-free sanctuary where you can unwind and connect with yourself or your partner. Turn off work notifications after a certain hour, and resist the urge to check your phone first thing in the morning. These small changes create space for rest, reflection, and genuine connection. Self-care is another cornerstone of balance. Too often, we view self-care as indulgent or optional, a luxury reserved for weekends or vacations. But in reality, self-care is a necessity, not a nicety. It's the foundation upon which everything else rests. Without adequate rest, nutrition, movement, and emotional support, we lack the energy and resilience needed to navigate life's challenges. Self-care looks different for everyone. It might involve meditation, exercise, journaling, spending time in nature, or simply taking a long bath. The key is to listen to your body and mind, honoring their signals rather than ignoring them. Compassion also plays a vital role in achieving balance, both for yourself and others. Be gentle with yourself on days when you feel stretched, thin, or fall short of your ideals. Remind yourself that balance isn't about achieving a perfect equilibrium every single day. It's about tending to your needs over time. Extend this same compassion to those around you. Recognize that everyone is carrying their own burdens, and sometimes people need grace rather than judgment. For example, if a colleague misses a deadline, consider whether they might be dealing with unseen struggles before reacting harshly. Compassionate communication fosters collaboration and understanding, reducing unnecessary conflict and stress. Gratitude is another powerful ally in the quest for balance. When we're overwhelmed by responsibilities, it's easy to focus on what's lacking: time, money, energy, rather than appreciating what we already have. Practicing gratitude shifts our perspective, helping us see abundance even in challenging circumstances. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect on 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be monumental. Even small blessings, like a warm cup of coffee or a kind word from a friend, count. Gratitude reminds us that life is rich with opportunities for joy, even amidst chaos. Finally, remember that finding balance is a dynamic process, not a fixed destination. Life's constantly changing, and so are our needs, priorities, and capacities. What works for you today might not work tomorrow, and that's perfectly fine. The goal isn't to achieve permanent equilibrium, but to remain flexible and responsive to the ebb and flow of existence. Embrace impermanence as a natural part of life, trusting that challenges are temporary and solutions will emerge in their own time. As you integrate these principles into your daily routine, keep returning to mindfulness as your anchor. Whether you're tackling a big project at work, enjoying a meal with loved ones, or simply sitting quietly, bring awareness to the present moment. Notice where imbalance shows up in your life and gently guide yourself back to center. With patience and practice, you'll discover that balance isn't something you achieve once and for all. It's something you cultivate, moment by moment, choice by choice. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore how mindfulness and Buddhist philosophy can help you navigate other aspects of modern life, such as healing relationships, managing anger, and living authentically. But for now, take what you've learned here and begin applying it to your own journey. Reflect on your priorities, set boundaries, and nurture yourself with kindness and care. With each step, you'll move closer to a life that feels not just balanced, but deeply fulfilling. Chapter 6. Healing relationships through non-attachment. Relationships are the threads that weave the fabric of our lives. They connect us to family, friends, partners, colleagues, and communities, shaping who we are and how we experience the world. Yet, for all their beauty and importance, relationships can also be a source of immense stress, conflict, and suffering. Misunderstandings, unmet expectations, and emotional baggage often strain even the strongest bonds. In this chapter, we'll explore how Buddhist philosophy, particularly this principle of non-attachment, offers profound insights into healing and strengthening relationships. By letting go of rigid expectations, embracing imperfection, and approaching others with compassion, you can transform your connections into sources of joy, growth, and mutual support. To understand how non-attachment applies to relationships, we first need to clarify what it means. Non-attachment isn't about detaching from people or becoming indifferent to their well-being. It's about releasing the need to control outcomes, cling to specific behaviors, or demand perfection from those around us. Relationships thrive when they're built on trust, freedom, and acceptance, not coercion, expectation, or fear. When we attach ourselves too tightly to how someone should behave or what a relationship must look like, we create unnecessary tension and disappointment. Non-attachment invites us to love without conditions, respect individual autonomy, and allow relationships to evolve naturally over time. One of the most common sources of relational stress is unmet expectations. We enter relationships with hopes and assumptions about how our partner will treat us, how our friends will support us, or how our family members will understand us. While these expectations may stem from good intentions, they often lead to frustration when reality doesn't align with our vision. For example, imagine feeling hurt because your spouse didn't remember an anniversary, or your friend cancelled plans last minute. These feelings arise not from the actions themselves, but from the gap between what you expected and what actually happened. Buddhism teaches that much of our suffering comes from clinging to these mental constructs, rather than accepting life as it unfolds. To heal relationships, start by examining your expectations. Are they realistic? Are they fair? And perhaps most importantly, are they serving the relationship, or are they creating unnecessary strain? Mindfulness is a powerful tool for addressing expectations and fostering healthier dynamics. When conflicts arise, instead of reacting impulsively, pause and observe your thoughts and emotions. What's driving your response? Is it anger, fear, or insecurity? Simply noticing these patterns without judgment creates space for wiser action. For instance, if your partner says something that triggers defensiveness, take a deep breath before replying. Ask yourself, what's really being communicated here? Could there be a deeper need or concern beneath their words? Mindful communication allows you to respond with empathy rather than reactivity, diffusing tension and building trust. Another key aspect of non-attachment in relationships is embracing imperfection in yourself, in others, and in the relationship itself. No one is flawless, and no relationship is without challenges. The Buddha taught that all things are inherently imperfect, transient, and incomplete, a concept known as the 3 marks of existence. Applying this understanding to relationships means accepting that disagreements, misunderstandings, and moments of disconnection are inevitable. Instead of viewing these challenges as failures, see them as opportunities for growth and learning. For example, if a disagreement arises, approach it with curiosity rather than criticism. What can this situation teach you about yourself or your partner? How can you work together to find a solution that honors both perspectives? Non-attachment also encourages us to let go of the need to fix others or change them to suit our desires. This tendency is particularly common in romantic partnerships, where we sometimes project our own insecurities or unmet needs onto our significant other. If your partner struggles with anxiety, for instance, you might feel compelled to save them or eliminate their discomfort. While your intentions may be loving, trying to control someone else's experience only reinforces dependency and resentment. True love respects boundaries and empowers individuals to grow at their own pace. Practice offering support without attachment to results. Be present for your loved ones. Listen deeply and validate their experiences, but trust that they have the strength and wisdom to navigate their own paths. Compassion is another cornerstone of healing relationships through non-attachment. Compassion reminds us that everyone carries their own burdens, pain, trauma, fears that shape how they show up in the world. When someone acts in ways that hurt or frustrate us, it's often because they're struggling internally. Instead of taking their behavior personally, try to see beyond the surface. For example, if a coworker snaps at you during a meeting, consider whether they might be dealing with stress outside of work. Responding with kindness rather than retaliation breaks cycles of negativity and fosters understanding. Over time, compassionate responses build bridges of connection even in difficult situations. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships, yet many people struggle to set them out of fear of rejection or conflict. Non-attachment reframes boundaries not as barriers, but as expressions of self-respect and care. Setting boundaries isn't about pushing people away, it's about protecting your energy and ensuring that relationships remain mutually beneficial. For instance, if a friend consistently cancels plans or takes advantage of your generosity, it's okay to communicate your limits clearly and kindly. Letting go of guilt or obligation allows you to prioritize relationships that nourish you while gracefully stepping back from those that drain you. Remember, saying no to unhealthy dynamics makes room for deeper, more authentic connections. Forgiveness is another critical element of healing relationships through non-attachment. Holding on to grudges or resentments keeps us tethered to the past, preventing us from moving forward with clarity and openness. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior or forgetting what happened. Rather, it's about releasing the emotional charge attached to those memories so you can reclaim your peace. Begin by forgiving yourself for any role you played in conflicts or misunderstandings. Then, extend forgiveness to others, starting with smaller grievances and working up to larger wounds. Each act of forgiveness lightens your heart, creating space for renewed connection and possibility. Gratitude plays a vital role in nurturing relationships as well. So often we focus on what's lacking in our interactions, the missed phone call, the forgotten birthday, the argument that lingers unresolved. Shifting your attention to what's going right transforms the tone of your relationships. Take time each day to reflect on the qualities you appreciate in the people around you. Maybe your partner has a knack for making you laugh, or your best friend always knows exactly what to say when you're feeling down. Expressing gratitude openly strengthens bonds and reminds everyone involved of the positive impact they have on each other's lives. Finally, remember that relationships are living, breathing entities that require ongoing care and attention. Just as plants need water, sunlight, and nutrients to thrive, relationships flourish when nurtured with presence, patience, and love. Make time for meaningful conversations, shared activities, and simple gestures of affection. Even small efforts like sending a thoughtful text or leaving a note of encouragement can deepen your connections. At the same time, accept that some relationships may naturally fade over time, and that's okay. People come into our lives for different seasons, and non-attachment allows us to honor those transitions with grace and gratitude. As you continue exploring non-attachment in your relationships, lean on mindfulness as your guide. Stay present in your interactions, listen deeply, and respond with kindness. Notice where attachment creates friction and gently release it. With practice, you'll discover that non-attachment doesn't weaken relationships, it strengthens them. By loving freely, respecting autonomy, and embracing impermanence, you create space for genuine connection to blossom. In the chapters ahead, we'll delve into other aspects of mindful living, such as managing anger, cultivating gratitude, and living authentically. But for now, take what you've learned here and begin applying it to your own relationships. Reflect on where attachment shows up and experiment with letting go of expectations and judgments. With each step, you'll move closer to relationships that feel not just harmonious, but deeply fulfilling. Chapter 7. Dealing with Anger and Negative Emotions. Anger is one of the most powerful and challenging emotions we face in life. It can erupt suddenly, consuming us with heat and intensity, or simmer quietly beneath the surface, coloring our thoughts and actions with resentment. Whether it's a sharp outburst during an argument or lingering frustration over unresolved issues, anger has the potential to disrupt our relationships, damage our well-being, and cloud our judgment. Yet in Buddhism, anger is not seen as inherently evil or destructive. It's understood as a natural human experience that, when approached mindfully, can serve as a teacher rather than an adversary. In this chapter, we'll explore how Buddhist philosophy provides tools for understanding, managing, and transforming anger and other negative emotions into sources of wisdom, compassion, and growth. To begin, let's acknowledge that anger itself isn't the problem. It's what we do with it that matters. The Buddha taught that all emotions, including anger, arise due to causes and conditions. They are neither good nor bad. They simply exist as part of the human experience. What turns anger into suffering is our attachment to it, our tendency to cling to it, act on it impulsively, or suppress it until it festers into bitterness. The key lies in observing anger without identifying with it, allowing it to pass through us like a storm rather than letting it take root in our hearts. This process begins with mindfulness, the practice of bringing conscious awareness to our thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. Mindfulness helps us recognize anger before it escalates into harmful words or actions. Often by the time we realize we're angry, we've already reacted in ways we later regret. To interrupt this cycle, train yourself to notice the early signs of anger: tightness in your chest, a racing heart, clenched fists, or a surge of heat in your body. These physical cues signal that anger is present, giving you an opportunity to pause and investigate its source. Ask yourself, what triggered this emotion? Is it truly about the current situation, or is it tied to past wounds, unmet expectations, or fears? By examining the roots of your anger, you gain clarity and insight, reducing its power over you. Another essential teaching in Buddhism is impermanence, anicca. Just as everything in life changes, seasons, relationships, moods, so too does anger. No matter how intense or overwhelming it feels in the moment, anger will eventually subside if you don't feed it. The challenge is resisting the urge to fuel it with blame, criticism, or retaliation. Instead, imagine anger as a guest knocking at your door. You don't have to invite it in or entertain it indefinitely. You can acknowledge its presence, offer it space to express itself, and then gently guide it toward the exit. One way to do this is through breath-focused meditation. When you feel anger rising, take slow, deliberate breaths, focusing on the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils. Each inhale creates space. Each exhale releases tension. Over time, this simple practice calms the nervous system and restores balance to your mind. Compassion is another powerful antidote to anger. While anger often stems from feeling hurt, misunderstood, or threatened, compassion invites us to soften our stance and see the humanity in ourselves and others. For example, if someone says something hurtful, instead of reacting defensively, consider their perspective. Are they acting out of pain, fear, or ignorance? Could their behavior be a reflection of their own struggles rather than an attack on you? Responding with compassion doesn't mean excusing harmful actions, but it does help you approach conflicts with greater understanding and patience. Compassionate communication, speaking honestly while remaining sensitive to the other person's feelings, can transform arguments into opportunities for connection and resolution. Forgiveness also plays a crucial role in dealing with anger. Holding on to grudges or resentments keeps us trapped in cycles of negativity, preventing us from moving forward with peace and freedom. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting what happened or condoning harmful behavior. Rather, it's about releasing the emotional charge attached to those memories so you can reclaim your inner calm. Begin by forgiving yourself for any role you played in conflicts or misunderstandings. Then, Extend forgiveness to others, starting with smaller grievances and working up to larger wounds. Each act of forgiveness lightens your heart, creating space for healing and renewed possibility. Non-attachment is particularly relevant when addressing anger and negative emotions. Non-attachment doesn't mean detaching from life or becoming indifferent to injustice. It means letting go of rigid expectations and trusting the flow of existence. In the context of anger, this translates to releasing the need to control outcomes or demand fairness. Life is inherently unpredictable, and people will inevitably disappoint, frustrate, or hurt us. Clinging to the belief that things should be different only amplifies suffering. Instead, practice accepting reality as it is, while still advocating for positive change where possible. This attitude of acceptance, combined with action, fosters resilience and equanimity. Wisdom is another cornerstone of transforming anger. True wisdom involves seeing situations clearly, without distortion from ego or bias. When anger arises, it's easy to fall into black and white thinking. We label people as good or bad, situations as right or wrong. But life is rarely so simple. Wisdom reminds us that everyone acts out of their own conditioning, shaped by past experiences, traumas, and beliefs. When someone hurts you, it's rarely personal. It's a reflection of their own pain. Understanding this doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it helps you respond with equanimity rather than reactivity. Gratitude is another unexpected ally in managing anger. So often, anger blinds us to the positives in our lives, focusing our attention solely on what's lacking or unfair. Practicing gratitude shifts our perspective, helping us see abundance even in challenging circumstances. At the end of each day, reflect on 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be monumental. Even small blessings, like a warm cup of tea or a kind word from a stranger, count. Gratitude reminds us that life is rich with opportunities for joy, even amidst chaos. Finally, remember that dealing with anger and negative emotions is a lifelong practice, not a one-time achievement. There will be days when you handle anger skillfully, responding with patience and compassion. Other days, you may find yourself swept away by its intensity. And that's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Each time you pause, breathe, and choose a mindful response over a reactive one, you strengthen your capacity for emotional regulation. Over time, these small efforts accumulate, leading to profound transformation. As you integrate these principles into your daily life, keep returning to mindfulness as your anchor. Notice where anger shows up in your body, in your thoughts, in your interactions, and greet it with curiosity rather than resistance. By observing anger without judgment, you create space for wiser choices and deeper self-awareness. With patience and practice, you'll discover that anger isn't something to fear or avoid. It's a doorway to greater understanding, compassion, and peace. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore other aspects of mindful living, such as embracing impermanence, cultivating gratitude, and finding contentment in simplicity. But for now, take what you've learned here and begin applying it to your own journey. Reflect on how anger manifests in your life and experiment with observing it, questioning it, and transforming it. With each step, you'll move closer to a life that feels not just harmonious, but deeply fulfilling. Chapter 8. The Power of Gratitude and Contentment. Gratitude and contentment are 2 of the most transformative forces we can cultivate in our lives, yet they often feel elusive in a world that constantly pushes us to strive for more. From advertisements promising happiness through material possessions to social media feeds showcasing curated perfection, modern life bombards us with messages that suggest we're never enough, and neither is what we have. But Buddhist philosophy offers a radically different perspective. True fulfillment doesn't come from acquiring more, it comes from appreciating what already exists. In this chapter, we'll explore how gratitude and contentment can shift your mindset, enrich your daily experience, and help you find lasting joy, not in external achievements, but in the richness of the present moment. To begin, let's clarify what gratitude and contentment mean within the context of Buddhism. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you or keeping a mental tally of good things. It's a deep, abiding awareness of the interconnectedness of all life. Every breath you take, every meal you eat, every act of kindness you receive is made possible by countless causes and conditions beyond your control. Recognizing this truth fosters humility and wonder, reminding you that life itself is a gift. Contentment, on the other hand, is the practice of finding peace with what is, rather than constantly chasing what could be. It doesn't mean settling for less or abandoning ambition. It means embracing simplicity and appreciating the abundance already present in your life. Together, gratitude and contentment form a foundation for inner peace, resilience, and genuine happiness. One of the most profound teachings in Buddhism is the concept of impermanence, anicca. Everything in life is transient. Our emotions, relationships, health, possessions, even our very sense of self. Yet so often we resist this reality, clinging to fleeting pleasures or lamenting inevitable losses. Gratitude helps us counteract this resistance by shifting our focus from scarcity to abundance. When you notice and appreciate the small joys in your life, a warm cup of tea, a kind word from a stranger, the beauty of a sunset, you train your mind to see the extraordinary within the ordinary. This shift in perspective transforms everyday moments into sources of delight and nourishment. Contentment builds on this foundation by teaching us to let go of the endless pursuit of more. Modern culture equates success with accumulation, more money, more status, more possessions. But Buddhism challenges this assumption. The Buddha taught that craving is the root of suffering. Tanha and much of our dissatisfaction stems from the belief that happiness depends on external circumstances. When we tie our well-being to achievements or acquisitions, we set ourselves up for disappointment. No matter how much we accumulate, there's always something else to desire. Contentment invites us to step off this treadmill of perpetual striving and rest in the sufficiency of the present moment. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in cultivating both gratitude and contentment. By bringing conscious awareness to your experiences, you heighten your ability to notice and savor the goodness around you. For example, when eating a meal, instead of rushing through it while scrolling on your phone, slow down and pay attention to the colors, textures, flavors, and aromas of your food. Notice how it nourishes your body and sustains your life. Similarly, when interacting with others, listen deeply and fully engage, appreciating the uniqueness of each connection. Mindfulness amplifies gratitude by anchoring you in the here and now, where all blessings reside. Another powerful tool for fostering gratitude is reflection. At the end of each day, take a few moments to recall 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be monumental. Even seemingly mundane details, a comfortable bed, a supportive colleague, a sunny afternoon, count. Write them down if you'd like, creating a gratitude journal that serves as a tangible reminder of life's gifts. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to focus on positivity, reducing stress and enhancing overall well-being. Studies show that people who regularly practice gratitude report higher levels of happiness, stronger relationships, and greater resilience in the face of adversity. Contentment also requires us to examine our relationship with comparison. Social media has amplified our tendency to measure ourselves against others, leading to envy, dissatisfaction, and a distorted sense of self-worth. The Buddha warned against comparing ourselves to others, recognizing that such comparisons only breed suffering. Instead, focus on your own journey and progress. Celebrate your unique strengths and accomplishments without diminishing them through comparison. Practice affirmations like, "I am enough," "I have enough," and "this moment is enough." These statements reinforce a mindset of sufficiency, helping you break free from the illusion that happiness lies somewhere else. Non-attachment is another key principle that supports contentment. Non-attachment doesn't mean detaching from life or becoming indifferent to outcomes. It means letting go of rigid expectations and trusting the flow of existence. For instance, if you're hoping for a promotion at work, pour your energy into doing your best, but release the need for a specific result. Trust that whatever happens will unfold as it should, and find peace in the process itself. This attitude of effort combined with acceptance creates a sense of ease even amidst uncertainty. Compassion is closely intertwined with gratitude and contentment. When you feel grateful for the blessings in your life, it naturally inspires you to extend kindness to others. Acts of generosity, whether big or small, reinforce a sense of interconnectedness and shared humanity. For example, volunteering at a local shelter, offering a listening ear to a friend in need, or simply smiling at a stranger can deepen your appreciation for the web of relationships that sustains us all. Compassionate actions not only benefit others but also amplify your own sense of gratitude and purpose. Forgiveness is another essential element of cultivating contentment. Holding on to grudges or resentments keeps us tethered to the past, preventing us from fully embracing the present moment. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior or forgetting what happened. Rather, it's about releasing the emotional charge attached to those memories so you can reclaim your peace. Begin by forgiving yourself for any mistakes or shortcomings you may be carrying. Then, extend forgiveness to others, starting with smaller grievances and working up to larger wounds. Each act of forgiveness lightens your heart, creating space for renewed connection and possibility. Simplicity is a cornerstone of contentment. In a consumer-driven society, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that more stuff equals more happiness. But Buddhism teaches that true contentment arises from simplicity, not deprivation, but mindful reduction. Declutter your physical space by letting go of items you no longer use or need. Simplify your schedule by prioritizing activities that bring you joy and meaning. Streamline your digital consumption by unfollowing accounts that trigger envy or dissatisfaction. By creating room for stillness and clarity, you allow contentment to flourish. Finally, remember that gratitude and contentment are practices, not destinations. There will be days when life feels abundant and joyful, and other days when challenges seem insurmountable. During difficult times, lean on these principles to sustain you. Even in the midst of hardship, there are still things to be grateful for: the strength to persevere, the support of loved ones, the lessons learned through struggle. Gratitude and contentment aren't about ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. They're about finding glimmers of light even in the darkest moments. As you continue exploring gratitude and contentment, keep returning to mindfulness as your anchor. Stay present in your experiences, notice the blessings around you, and let go of the relentless pursuit of more. With patience and practice, you'll discover that happiness isn't something you achieve externally, it's something you cultivate internally. By embracing gratitude and contentment, you unlock a reservoir of peace, joy, and fulfillment that no external circumstance can ever take away. In the chapters ahead, we'll delve into other aspects of mindful living, such as healing relationships, managing anger, and living authentically. But for now, take what you've learned here and begin applying it to your own journey. Reflect on the abundance already present in your life and experiment with noticing, appreciating, and celebrating it. With each step, you'll move closer to a life that feels not just harmonious, but deeply fulfilling. Chapter 9. Living authentically in a world of expectations. In a world that often feels like it's shouting at us to conform, to fit neatly into predefined roles, meet societal standards, or chase external markers of success, living authentically can seem like an act of rebellion. But authenticity isn't about rejecting the world or standing apart for the sake of being different. It's about aligning your life with your deepest values, truths, and intentions, even when those don't match up with what others expect from you. In this chapter, we'll explore how Buddhist philosophy offers timeless wisdom for living authentically. not by resisting the world, but by embracing your true self, letting go of unnecessary burdens, and finding freedom in being who you are. To begin, let's define what it means to live authentically. Authenticity is the practice of staying true to yourself despite external pressures. It involves knowing who you are, what matters most to you, and how you want to show up in the world. This might sound straightforward, but in reality, it's one of the most challenging aspects of human existence. From a young age, we're conditioned to seek approval from parents, teachers, peers, and society at large. We learn to mold ourselves into shapes that will earn love, acceptance, or validation, often at the expense of our own desires and needs. Over time, this disconnect between who we truly are and who we pretend to be creates inner conflict, dissatisfaction, and suffering. Buddhism teaches that liberation comes not from seeking approval, but from releasing the need for it entirely. One of the central teachings of Buddhism is impermanence, anicca, which reminds us that everything, including identities, roles, and expectations, is constantly changing. Yet so often we cling to fixed ideas about who we should be, based on cultural norms, family traditions, or personal insecurities. For example, you might feel pressure to pursue a high-powered career because it's what your parents dreamed of, even though your heart longs for something simpler and more creative. Or you might stay in a relationship that no longer serves you because breaking free would disappoint friends or family. These attachments to external expectations keep us trapped in lives that don't reflect our true selves. To live authentically, start by examining the stories you tell yourself about who you are and why you do what you do. Are they based on your own values, or are they shaped by fear of judgment or rejection? Mindfulness plays a crucial role in uncovering your authentic self. When we move through life on autopilot, reacting to external demands without pausing to reflect, we lose touch with our inner voice. Mindfulness invites us to slow down, observe our thoughts and emotions, and reconnect with what truly resonates within us. For instance, if you find yourself feeling drained after social events or overwhelmed by work obligations, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Does it align with my values? Is it bringing me closer to the person I want to be? Simply paying attention to these questions can reveal patterns of behavior that no longer serve you, giving you the clarity needed to make changes. Another key principle in Buddhism is non-attachment, which applies powerfully to living authentically. Non-attachment doesn't mean detaching from life or becoming indifferent to outcomes. It means letting go of rigid expectations and trusting the flow of existence. In the context of authenticity, this translates to releasing the need for perfection, approval, or control over how others perceive you. When you stop trying to prove yourself to the world, you create space to simply be. This shift requires courage, as it often involves stepping outside your comfort zone and facing uncertainty. But the reward is profound, a sense of freedom that comes from living in alignment with your truth. Compassion is another cornerstone of living authentically, both for yourself and others. Many people struggle with authenticity because they fear judgment or rejection. They worry that being honest about their feelings, desires, or limitations will alienate them from loved ones or damage their reputation. Compassion reminds us that everyone is fighting their own battles, carrying their own fears and insecurities. When you approach others with kindness and understanding, you reduce the pressure to perform or conform. Similarly, extending compassion to yourself allows you to embrace your imperfections and vulnerabilities without shame. Remember, authenticity isn't about being flawless, it's about being real. Boundaries are essential for maintaining authenticity, particularly in relationships. Setting boundaries isn't about pushing people away, it's about protecting your energy and ensuring that your interactions remain aligned with your values. For example, if a friend consistently pressures you to join activities that drain you, it's okay to communicate your limits clearly and kindly. Letting go of guilt or obligation allows you to prioritize relationships that honor your authentic self while gracefully stepping back from those that don't. Healthy boundaries not only preserve your well-being but also deepen trust and mutual respect in your connections. Gratitude also supports authenticity by helping you appreciate the unique qualities that make you who you are. So often, we focus on what we lack, skills we haven't mastered, traits we wish we had, accomplishments we haven't achieved, rather than celebrating the strengths and gifts we already possess. Practicing gratitude shifts your perspective, reminding you that you are enough exactly as you are. Take time each day to reflect on the qualities you admire in yourself, your creativity, resilience, empathy, humor, and express appreciation for them. This practice reinforces a positive self-image, making it easier to stand firm in your authenticity. Living authentically also requires embracing vulnerability. Vulnerability is the willingness to show up as your true self, even when it feels risky or uncomfortable. It's about sharing your thoughts, feelings, and experiences openly, without hiding behind masks or pretenses. While vulnerability can feel daunting, it's also incredibly liberating. When you allow yourself to be seen, you invite deeper connections with others and create space for genuine intimacy. The Buddha taught that all beings share the same fundamental nature. We're all interconnected, flawed, and striving for happiness. By leaning into vulnerability, you tap into this shared humanity, fostering compassion and understanding in your relationships. Wisdom is another vital component of living authentically. True wisdom involves seeing situations clearly, without distortion from ego or bias. When faced with decisions about how to live your life, ask yourself, what does my heart say? What brings me peace and fulfillment? Trust your intuition. It's a powerful guide that knows what's best for you, even when logic or external advice suggests otherwise. Wisdom also reminds us that authenticity isn't a destination, it's a journey. As you grow and evolve, your understanding of yourself and your values may change, and that's okay. Embrace the fluidity of your identity, trusting that each stage of your journey contributes to your wholeness. Finally, remember that living authentically isn't always easy. There will be moments when staying true to yourself feels lonely or challenging, especially when your choices don't align with societal norms or expectations. During these times, lean on mindfulness, compassion, and gratitude to sustain you. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your uniqueness and encourage you to shine brightly. And above all, trust that living authentically, even imperfectly, is infinitely more rewarding than living a life that doesn't belong to you. As you continue exploring authenticity, keep returning to mindfulness as your anchor. Stay present in your experiences, notice where you're compromising your truth, and gently guide yourself back to alignment. With patience and practice, you'll discover that authenticity isn't something you achieve once and for all. It's something you embody, moment by moment, choice by choice. By embracing your true self, you unlock a reservoir of peace, joy, and fulfillment that no external circumstance can ever take away. In the chapters ahead, we'll delve into other aspects of mindful living, such as cultivating daily practices, managing stress, and integrating mindfulness into every area of your life. But for now, take what you've learned here and begin applying it to your own journey. Reflect on the ways you might be hiding parts of yourself to please others, and experiment with showing up more fully and honestly. With each step, you'll move closer to a life that feels not just harmonious, but deeply fulfilling, a life that is unmistakably yours. Chapter 10. Creating a daily practice that works for you. One of the most transformative ways to integrate Buddhist philosophy, mindfulness, and meditation into your life is by cultivating a daily practice. A daily practice isn't about perfection or adhering to rigid routines. It's about creating a sustainable structure that supports your growth, well-being, and connection to the present moment. In this chapter, we'll explore how to design a personalized practice that fits seamlessly into your life, whether you're juggling a busy schedule, navigating challenges, or simply seeking greater peace and clarity. By focusing on consistency, flexibility, and intentionality, you can build habits that nourish your mind, body, and spirit over time. To begin, let's clarify what a daily practice actually means. It's not confined to sitting cross-legged on a cushion for hours or chanting mantras at dawn, though those activities can certainly be part of it if they resonate with you. A daily practice is any intentional action you take to cultivate awareness, compassion, and presence in your life. This might include meditation, mindful breathing, journaling, gratitude exercises, acts of kindness, or even simple moments of stillness throughout your day. The key is to choose practices that align with your values, needs, and lifestyle, ensuring they feel meaningful rather than burdensome. One of the first steps in creating a daily practice is setting clear intentions. Ask yourself, what do I hope to achieve through this practice? Are you looking to reduce stress, improve focus, deepen self-awareness, or foster greater compassion? Your answers will guide you in selecting activities that serve your goals. For example, if stress reduction is your priority, you might incorporate short mindfulness exercises or guided meditations into your routine. If cultivating gratitude resonates more deeply, consider starting a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. Setting intentions ensures that your practice remains purposeful and aligned with your aspirations. Consistency is another cornerstone of a successful daily practice. While occasional sessions can offer temporary benefits, lasting transformation comes from regular engagement. Think of your practice like watering a plant. It thrives when nurtured consistently, even in small amounts. Start small, especially if you're new to mindfulness or meditation. Commit to just 5 minutes a day, gradually increasing the duration as you become more comfortable. Remember, it's better to practice for a few minutes every day than for an hour once a week. Consistency builds momentum, making it easier to integrate these activities into your daily rhythm. Flexibility is equally important. Life is unpredictable, and there will be days when sticking to your usual routine feels impossible. Instead of viewing disruptions as failures, embrace them as opportunities to adapt and grow. For instance, if you miss your morning meditation because of an early meeting, find another moment during the day to sit quietly, even if it's just for a minute or two. Or if formal meditation doesn't appeal to you, experiment with informal practices like mindful walking, eating, or listening. The goal isn't to follow a specific formula, but to stay connected to the essence of mindfulness, being fully present in whatever you're doing. Mindfulness itself can serve as the foundation of your daily practice. Mindfulness isn't limited to meditation, it's a way of engaging with the world that infuses every aspect of your day with awareness and care. Begin by identifying moments in your daily life where you can bring mindfulness to the forefront. Washing dishes. Pay attention to the warmth of the water, the scent of the soap, the sensation of your hands moving rhythmically. Walking to work, feel the ground beneath your feet. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Observe the sights and sounds around you. These small acts of presence accumulate over time, transforming ordinary activities into profound opportunities for grounding and reflection. Meditation is one of the most widely recognized components of a daily practice, and for good reason. It provides a dedicated space to quiet the mind, observe your thoughts, and connect with your inner self. There are countless forms of meditation, so don't hesitate to explore different styles until you find what feels right for you. Some people enjoy focused attention practices, such as concentrating on the breath or a mantra. Others prefer open monitoring techniques, which involve observing thoughts and sensations without attachment. Loving kindness, metta meditation is another powerful option, helping you cultivate compassion for yourself and others. Whatever form you choose, approach it with curiosity and patience, trusting that the benefits will unfold gradually. Journaling is another versatile tool that can enhance your daily practice. Writing allows you to process emotions, clarify thoughts, and track progress over time. Depending on your goals, you might use your journal to record reflections on mindfulness exercises, document moments of gratitude, or explore questions related to personal growth. For example, you could ask yourself, what brought me joy today? Where did I struggle, and what can I learn from it? How am I showing up authentically in my relationships? Journaling not only deepens your self-awareness, but also creates a tangible record of your journey, reminding you of how far you've come. Acts of kindness and service are integral, to many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, and they deserve a place in your daily practice. Engaging in compassionate actions, whether big or small, strengthens your connection to others and reinforces a sense of shared humanity. Look for opportunities to extend kindness in everyday interactions, holding the door for someone, offering a genuine compliment, or volunteering your time for a cause you care about. These gestures not only benefit others, but also amplify your own sense of fulfillment and purpose. Gratitude practices are another essential element of a balanced daily routine. As discussed earlier, gratitude shifts your perspective, helping you see abundance even in challenging circumstances. Incorporate gratitude into your practice by dedicating a few minutes each day to reflect on the blessings in your life. You might write them down, say them aloud, or simply hold them in your heart. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to focus on positivity, reducing stress and enhancing overall well-being. Physical movement can also play a vital role in your daily practice. Activities like yoga, tai chi, or mindful stretching combine physical exercise with mental focus, promoting harmony between body and mind. Even gentle movements performed with awareness, such as rolling your shoulders, stretching your arms, or taking a few deep breaths, can release tension and restore energy. If you already have a fitness routine, consider infusing it with mindfulness by paying attention to your breath, posture, and sensations as you move. This integration transforms physical activity into a holistic practice that supports both physical health and mental clarity. Creating sacred spaces within your home can further support your daily practice. While not everyone has the luxury of a dedicated meditation room, even a small corner with a cushion, candle, or inspiring object can serve as a sanctuary. Surround yourself with items that evoke calm and inspiration, a favorite book, a photo of loved ones, or a piece of art that speaks to your soul. Returning to this space each day reinforces the ritualistic nature of your practice, signaling to your mind and body that it's time to slow down and reconnect. Non-judgmental awareness is crucial for sustaining a daily practice over the long term. Too often we fall into the trap of criticizing ourselves for perceived shortcomings, skipping a session, losing focus during meditation, or feeling restless instead of calm. Instead of judging these experiences, view them as part of the process. The mind naturally wanders, distractions arise, moods fluctuate. Each moment offers an opportunity to return to presence with gentleness and curiosity. Self-compassion is your ally here, reminding you that the journey matters more than the destination. Accountability can also bolster your commitment to a daily practice. Share your intentions with a trusted friend, join a meditation group, or participate in online communities focused on mindfulness and personal growth. Having others to share insights, challenges, and successes with creates a sense of camaraderie and encouragement. Additionally, tracking your progress, whether through a journal, app, or calendar, can provide motivation and a sense of accomplishment. Celebrate milestones, no matter how small, recognizing that every step forward contributes to your overall well-being. Finally, remember that a daily practice is a living, evolving entity. What works for you today may need adjustment tomorrow as your circumstances, priorities, and interests change. Stay attuned to your needs, experimenting with new activities and approaches as necessary. Trust that the essence of your practice, mindfulness, compassion, and presence, will remain constant even as its expression shifts over time. As you continue developing your daily practice, keep returning to the principles of mindfulness and non-attachment. Stay present in your routines, notice where resistance or frustration arises, and gently guide yourself back to alignment. With patience and persistence, you'll discover that a daily practice isn't just something you do, it's a way of being. It becomes woven into the fabric of your life, enriching every interaction, decision, and experience. In closing this chapter, take what you've learned here and begin designing your own daily practice. Reflect on the activities that resonate most deeply with you and commit to incorporating them into your routine, however modestly. Whether it's 5 minutes of mindful breathing, a few lines in a gratitude journal, or a brief walk in nature, Each effort plants seeds of transformation. Over time, these seeds will blossom into a life filled with greater peace, joy, and authenticity. A life that reflects the beauty and wisdom of the teachings we've explored together. As we bring this exploration to a close, I want to leave you with a sense of possibility, a quiet confidence that no matter where you are in your journey, there's always room to grow, heal, and transform. The practices, teachings, and insights we've discussed today aren't meant to overwhelm you, they're meant to inspire hope. Hope that even amidst life's challenges, you have the tools within you to navigate them with grace, wisdom, and resilience. Buddhist philosophy reminds us that transformation isn't about achieving some distant ideal, it's about embracing the present moment with openness and curiosity. It's about showing up for yourself day by day, step by step, and trusting that small shifts create profound change over time, whether it's through mindfulness, meditation, gratitude, or simply pausing to breathe deeply. Every act of presence brings you closer to the peace and fulfillment you seek. If anything from this video resonated with you, a particular teaching, exercise, or idea, I encourage you to revisit it, write it down, share it with someone who might benefit, make it a part of your daily routine. These small actions ripple outward, not only transforming your own life, but also touching the lives of those around you. This video has been crafted with care, rooted in the intention of supporting you on your path toward greater well-being. If it resonated with you, please consider subscribing to the Mindful Zone for more content like this. Sharing this video with others is another beautiful way to spread these teachings further to friends, family, or anyone seeking guidance in their own journey. Finally, as you step back into your day, carry this reminder with you. You are enough exactly as you are. Life is messy, unpredictable, and imperfect, and that's okay. The goal isn't to fix everything, it's to meet each moment with an open heart and a curious mind. Trust in your ability to navigate whatever comes your way, knowing that you don't have to do it alone. Thank you for being here, for showing up for yourself, and for contributing to a kinder, more mindful world. Until next time, may you walk gently, breathe deeply, and find moments of peace wherever you go. Namaste.